Welcome to today's deep dive into, well, the hidden psychology of modern spending. We're looking specifically at buy now, pay later platforms, or BNPL.
Yeah, and we've got a really great mix of sources today. We're looking at, recent APA reports on financial stress, some behavioral economics research, and consumer neuroscience studies.
Right, because our mission today is to unpack exactly why clicking that buy button feels so effortless. Like, how does BNPL actually rewire our financial decision making and, how you can protect your mental health and your wallet?
It's so important because usually, think about touching a hot stove. Your nervous system violently yanks your hand back.
Oh, yeah, it's a completely evolutionary braking system. You feel the burn, so you stop the damage.
Exactly. But imagine if you slipped a digital painkiller into your brain just seconds before touching that stove. You wouldn't feel the burn at all.
You just like leave your hand there while the damage happens. So do BNPL and digital payments essentially act as this psychological painkiller? Are they completely blinding us to the burn?
That is exactly what's happening. And to understand why, we have to talk about double-entry mental accounting, or what researchers call coupling. This was actually coined by Ofer Zellermeyer.
Okay, coupling. What exactly does that look like in the brain?
Well, when you hand over physical cash, fMRI scans actually show activity in the insula,
Wait, the insula, that's the brain region associated with physical pain,
a
right?
literal physical pain. The act of paying is tightly coupled to the act of consuming. It's a natural braking system.
Right, handing over a crisp $100 bill feels terrible.
Exactly. Credit cards lower that coupling a bit, but BNPL completely severs it. It removes that immediate pain entirely.
So we get the dopamine hit of getting the item, but without the neural friction of paying for it. That leaves us super vulnerable at the checkout screen, doesn't it?
It really does. Because when you remove that friction, the brain is wide open to cognitive illusions. The big one here is the numerosity effect.
The numerosity effect. I think Reese Ashby did a study on this, right? The refrigerator one.
Yes, Ashby's study is a perfect example. Participants shopped for a $600 refrigerator. One group saw the full price tags, the other group just saw 4 payments of $150.
Even though the math is identical, seeing that smaller number, like the 150, totally tricks the brain.
Exactly. They perceived the whole massive appliance as significantly cheaper, and they bought it at much higher rates.
And the scary part is, this is happening when our brains are completely drained.
Right, because of high cognitive load. Think about it. You're reading reviews, you're comparing specs, dodging pop-ups,
Oh, I mean, by the time I hit the checkout screen, my brain is fried.
and that's exactly what the checkout algorithms are optimized for. They wait until your decision-making bandwidth is totally depleted.
So you have no energy left to assess the risks of an impulse buy. You just take the frictionless path.
Yeah, your tired brain defaults to the lowest number. But this frictionless spending isn't just about extra boxes on your porch. It's actively fueling a mental health crisis.
The stats on this are honestly staggering. Over half of Americans recently used BNPL, and I think it was 40% who paid late.
Yeah, it's bad. And a Johns Hopkins study showed that people with depression or anxiety are almost twice as likely to use BNPL.
Wow. Twice as likely. That is a massive jump.
It really highlights how unsecured debt and our mental state create this vicious cycle.
And there's a tragic irony here, especially for Gen Z and millennials. They're getting trapped in over-indebtedness, but, not for luxury items.
Right, they're using it for basic necessities, rent, groceries, things like that.
Yeah, when you have to stack microloans just to eat, that leads straight to social isolation. Like, you can't go out with friends because you literally owe a pay in 4 on a sandwich.
Exactly. So knowing that this system is rigged against our psychology, we really need to know how to fight back.
Right. How do we flip the script on this?
Well, we can actually use the numerosity effect for good. It comes down to framing.
Framing savings instead of spending. How does
Yeah.
that work?
So researchers found that if you frame savings as $5 a day instead of $150 a month, people are 4 times more likely to save.
Oh, wow. Because skipping a $5 coffee feels so much easier than losing $150 at once. Same math, totally different feeling.
Exactly. And for the immediate checkout trap, you can use a cognitive behavioral approach. Just take a mindful pause before you click buy.
I mean, telling people to take a deep breath sounds a bit like an empty wellness platitude when you're fighting a billion-dollar AI.
I know it sounds a little cheesy, but it's a literal neurological reset.
Hmm.
That single breath interrupts the automatic limbic response.
So it actually gives your prefrontal cortex, like your logical brain, the time it needs to come back online.
Right. Those 2 seconds let you evaluate the risk. You were intentionally reintroducing a little bit of friction.
You're forcing that coupling back into the equation, making sure you actually want the item. That's a huge takeaway. Awareness is your best defense against these bypass breaks.
It really is.
Yeah.
So we want to challenge you to take that one mindful breath the next time you're hovering over a BNPL button.
Yeah, definitely try that. But before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with one final kind of provocative thought from the research.
Oh, the time research, right?
Yeah. Studies consistently show that spending money to buy time, like outsourcing chores, actively increases your life satisfaction.
It protects against time stress.
Right. So if you use BNPL for impulse buys, are you actually just borrowing against your future time? You're essentially sacrificing your future happiness to fund today's illusion. Something to think about next time you go to touch that stove.